What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast, a podcast all about everything PC gaming related. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah, otherwise known as JERMgaming, and I'm in a happy mood. Joel, why am I in a happy mood?
Amen, brother, because we all talking about happy things today.
All right, someone who's not from the Deep South. What is this podcast called?
They're apparently happy. Okay, the rule for tonight's podcast, and people got to keep us, is I'm going to be tracking any negative comment. You can, if you say a negative comment, you get a demerit. So let's see who gets the least amount of demerits for this podcast.
What happens if I...
At the end, nothing, just...
Okay,
shame.
There's no consequence. I might be the loser on purpose.
So this is like the gold star preschool system we're working on here.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the public school system. No spankings, no actual consequences for failing.
Hey, spankings aren't always bad. Just saying.
In public school, they would be, because you shouldn't be getting spanked in any context.
He was homeschooled. He doesn't know.
Or he knows all too well.
I used to get so many spankings all the time, get in trouble.
Oh, me too.
That my friends, we were in public school, like we'd be out playing, and my dad would just like literally yell from the upstairs window, is like, because he would I would get in trouble during the day. Well, I was at home with my mom doing schoolwork, and I would get in trouble, and she would call my dad, and he said when he got home, I had to remind him that I was in trouble. And so I always hoped he would forget, and sometimes he would forget, but then he would remember the next day, and he would remember I didn't tell him.
Were you fighting at school?
What?
Were you fighting?
I was a bully to my brother. No, and so, like, my dad would call from the window. He's like, I know you're playing outside, but you have a debt to pay. And my friends would just be like, all right, see you in a little bit, Joel. I would just like walk right in, get spanked. Like an hour later, I'd come back out. Like, all right, let's keep going.
You have a debt to pay.
It's so foreboding.
So yeah, tonight is the Happy Cast. Coincidentally, it is also the week before American Thanksgiving, a day where we sit down and give thanks for breaking free of the British oppressors and successfully eradicating all the natives who live where we own now.
It's a happy cast.
I'm so happy.
It's a happy cast, but only for the
victors. That doesn't count as a negative comment, Joel. That's really what Thanksgiving's all about. It's celebrating all the things we have by taking them from the people who don't anymore.
Joel,
we gave them smallpox blankets. I mean, it's like it evens out.
Joel, you started the happy cast off of the story about spankings. I don't think you have room to
and we've covered smallpox blankets. But yes, it is. It's American Thanksgiving next week, and we are taking a week off. We're not going to podcast on Thanksgiving. But today we're going to talk about all the things that make us happy about video games. Because a lot of the time, to be honest, this podcast can veer slightly to the cynical / negative side, especially when Joel and I have a 2% disagreement on anything. But in reality, we are all very good friends, and we enjoy playing games together, and we should probably focus on that a little more than we do. So tonight, we're just focusing on the good things.
I wouldn't say the podcast always leans towards disappointing because of us.
I think disappointing.
I enjoy. Negative.
No, it's because of Apple.
It's more because
Steve
of.
Jobs.
I mean, I think we can all agree that as of the last 6 to 8 months, it's just like crappy news in gaming, and I'm
a lot of the time there is.
I almost like. PC gives you options. I'm like, I don't want those options. I just want to play a game. I don't want to have to do patches.
I think the console players, feel that way too.
This seems irrelevant to the happiness, Joel.
Yeah.
So if you want to make me happy, just show me the options screen in Far Cry 4. The one that doesn't work for you.
So yes. We had to do introductions. I'm Jeremiah, or JERMgaming, one of your hosts. I'm joined by Dave, the not so evil Viking 13. We are joined by James, who has some very foreboding shadows on his face this evening. And
I missed
Joel.
the white shirt memo.
Bazinga!
Yeah, I never wear my white button downs. I don't know why I decided to today, but I don't know. I feel good. I feel like I can handle whatever comes my way.
You and James are matching.
Well,
it's the happy cast. You guys gotta dress up a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
like me and Joel.
Next year we're all wearing suits. We start the podcast out like we always do, talking about Patreon. We thank you, everybody who supports us on Patreon. We have a new Patreon supporter this week, and Joel is now going to sing your name.
Hey, Ben. Thank you for supporting the podcast.
Sing.
Your name
Sing.
is what? Sing?
Sing. I said Joel's going
Thank
to
you,
sing.
Ben. Thank you, Ben. You
Much
are
better.
wonderful to us. As your cash flows into our pockets.
And that's
And
enough of
then
that.
we spend it on
That is a new T-shirt, right, Joel?
Represent.
Hopefully you guys are hearing the benefits of your Patreon money. You should be hearing awesome audio quality or better audio quality. New mics and everyone recording their own audio feed sounds pretty good. You probably won't hear that when we have guests on, because unless they can record their own audio feeds, there's nothing we can do about it. I've got to use the master feed I record. But as long as it is a hostful goodness episode, everyone should be able to record their own mic feeds and everything should sound really awesome. So yeah, we are now going to go to our main topic this evening, which is, what is your happiest moment in gaming? What is your happiest moment in gaming? Now we start with Debbie. Debbie, a member of Casual Shenanigans Gaming. Her happiest gaming memory for her is playing Skyrim while it was snowing outside and she was drinking a glass of mead. That sounds pretty good. That sounds like the ideal way to play Skyrim. She doesn't mention a roaring fire, but I'm assuming there's a roaring fire.
I'm immersed just listening to that.
Although I really think with Debbie, you could just say, my favorite gaming moment is playing blank while drinking a glass of blank. I think the two just kind of go hand in hand.
Gamer
But
juice.
the snow is what makes it unique. Otherwise, it's just a normal Thursday. So Joel, what are your happiest moments in gaming?
Yeah, I wanted to bring this podcast back to its roots and happiness.
All right, Dad.
I mean, games bring us joy, right? Isn't that what? Is that the reason why we play these games?
Ideally,
It can't only be for friendship.
I used to play it when I had no friends.
Shots fired.
So I put down a few of them, and I just remembered one last one that I wanted added. But honestly, like definitely one of my happiest moments, like earlier, like back in the day, was playing Mario 64 on the N64. And there was a level. He was getting all the stars, but there was a couple stars that were just insanely hidden. And one was you just sat and you looked up at the ceiling painting in the castle, and you wait there for like, I don't know, it was like 10 seconds, and then it kind of morphs you into a new world. And I just remember finding that by accident, because like I didn't really have internet back then at that time, or it wasn't fast enough to even, I never thought like, oh, let's go onto forums and figure out stuff. So that was really fun finding. That was such a cool moment, because it was me, my brother, and a couple other friends that we knew, and we all played through the game kind of together. Like they were terrible at it, so they always made me play it, but it was just fun working through the levels together, like figuring out where the stars, and that was one. And then as of lately, definitely beating Dark Souls 1. That was, well,
When did you beat it?
I put on the note saying finally liking and understanding Dark Souls. When I finally started liking it, it was like something clicked. I was like, wow, this game is like magic to me. I just love it. It was just awesome. It was the right balance of like being insanely hard, where it's so sarcastic. It was like, oh, this is totally what I like. And then actually beating it, I was really surprised. I never thought I would ever beat Dark Souls, like ever. I mean, I went from absolutely hating it to somehow beating every single boss in the entire game.
Oh, so by beating, you mean like you completed everything?
I did all the side bosses that you don't even have to kill, every single thing. And it was a joy. It was a really, really fun game. And then the last two would be spoiler alerts for Half-Life 2, but I think it's okay. But the freeze glitch,
It's been 10
at
years.
the end of Half-Life 2. Do you guys remember that part?
Yes.
When the game just freezes. I mean, my computer wasn't that great at the time, so I literally thought my computer froze, and I'm like, oh crap. And I look around, and all of a sudden I hear like the G-Man's voice come in. I was like, no way. It was like, oh, it was just so cool. I remember I was like, guys, like no one cared about the game. I was like, but it's so
Guys,
cool,
guys,
so
oh yeah,
cool.
I'm alone.
Yeah. That was an awesome moment. And then when James got me to finally play the Knights of the Old Republic, and I got far enough that I enjoyed it, and then I beat the whole game, the twist in the story of Knights of the Old Republic, definitely one of the best gaming moments. So
You keep
And I know
mentioning the twist. One of these days, I'm gonna play it.
yeah, you just need to dive in, man. Just give it a shot. Do you have an iPad?
Yeah.
Because it is on the
Wait,
iPad.
nope, don't anymore. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
All Apple devices are successfully purged. The Apple TV's going up for sale. One iPhone sold tonight, another one's for sale right now, and the iPad was sold last year. Oh, I'm almost free.
And I was gonna add one more, but I figured James would mention it, so I'm gonna let him mention it.
You know.
Yeah. I know.
Fallout 3, I'm guessing.
I know the exact moment too.
Oh yeah.
No, so that those are a few that I remember. I mean, there's a bunch of other ones that are great, but those I just remember being like just so. I had a Half-Life 2 one. I like can completely remember where I was sitting. I was at college. It was my first semester. And
hey, that's where I beat it too. First semester
the other guys were in another room, and they were just like hearing me. I was like, oh my god, I was just freaking out because it was so cool. I mean, because I had been waiting for Half-Life 2 for so many years. So, yeah, that's mine.
Cool. Dave, what are your happiest?
I kind of want to hear
gaming
James's
news?
next because I feel like James is going to be really close to Joel.
We have a
I'm
good
going to steal your
segue.
thunder then, Dave.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to start off with yours because this was on my list too. I just didn't put it up there. Definitely playing Halo when there was no online.
Oh,
and
yeah.
getting just multiple TVs in a room and multiple consoles and hooking them all up and then just having just a huge group of guys and everybody
Matchmaking
eating
that
snacks.
worked.
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't resist putting it down. I know it makes Joel happy that I have some console stuff up there, but back when I was still on dial-up internet, like multiplayer games on my PC just weren't a thing. But all throughout high school, like all 4 years, I had a great group of friends, and like at least twice a month, like almost every year, we would have LAN parties for Halo. Like I remember when the Xbox 360 came out, and it was like everyone was trying to like pool their money to get all the Xboxes upgraded for like the next LAN party, and like everybody was all excited for Halo 2. But consistently all throughout high school, so much fun. Like nothing beats trash talking your friends, like right there in the room, that hot, boiling hot room.
Dave, do you remember when we had like you'd have the LAN cables from room to room? Like my favorite is you'd have an intense match. I mean, everyone's so sweaty and hot,
Yeah.
But like when you hear this roar, like yeah, and everyone comes storming into the room, like oh you son of a like it's just
You
so
hear the
much
shouts
fun.
from
That was
room to
that was
room.
Battlefield
You just
2.
don't have that anymore. Like
That was Battlefield 2 in college.
Anymore.
We set it up on a LAN, and I had never played a Battlefield game. And so the first day, the Jihad Jeep? I called it Exploder Truck.
yeah.
I came up with that.
Exploder
I know
truck.
tons of other people
So
have done
creative.
this before me. I didn't know that. So I came up with it.
You discovered it.
Well, I mean, I discovered it on my own, not knowing that
right.
thousands of other people were doing it. And
That's
so the
awesome.
first time someone was driving towards me in a tank, and I hopped out of my buggy and blew it up, and I heard from like 3 rooms down the hall, "F you!" I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, the amount of this is so stereotypical, but it works. The amount of Mountain Dew and Doritos that I consumed at LAN parties in high school, I should not be alive right
I'll
now.
be young and skinny
and
forever.
Okay,
Get the cheap
and
pizzas.
Little Caesars pizza.
Can I-
Little
no.
Caesars pizza.
Can I propose an idea? We need to have a trip to James' house.
Do a true LAN party.
Dude, Pecor has an original Xbox with Halo, or we I don't know, we'll get some game that's LAN based. Get
Joel,
Doritos.
if we
get
eat
Mountain
like that,
Dew.
we would
be
all
so
die.
much
We're
fun.
old, Joel. We're old.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't. What we'll stay up all night drinking Mountain Dew and eating Doritos.
to be fair, though, the crime scene
Then
would look pretty
cancer.
awesome. When they found our bodies.
4
the next
games,
day.
like I'm tired now,
Yeah,
guys.
we're like, wow, that
It's
was.
like 9 o'clock.
We'll be like, well, that was a little different than I
It's
remember.
11:30. It's bedtime.
11:30. You old man.
Dave,
we
you
should
know I've
do
stayed
that
up late playing games. Don't you fuss.
No, I was actually expecting more like 9:30. That'd be me. Like, oh, this Mountain Dew's make my heart all jumpy. I better rest for a while.
Dave doesn't eat that anymore. He eats like straight up steaks and tacos at 3 in the morning.
Steaks and tacos.
After James and I were playing DayZ a few nights ago, and it's true, I had some leftover pulled chicken in the fridge, and I'm like, I was free running to a military base with James. I'm like, James, I'll BRB, and I like went to the kitchen and like made a homemade burrito. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. No shame.
I can't judge. Yesterday, I was making bacon and eggs while playing Grand Theft Auto with Mark. Like we're in the middle of a 3-star police pursuit. He's driving. I'm sitting there.
Oh, that's the best. That's why you always choose to ride. You can do all kinds of other stuff.
Eat snack.
James, have you ever watched a TV show while we're playing
Hold on,
GTA 5?
this is me. This is me when I'm just riding the car, just
Texting while riding.
looking around.
Oh man.
So yeah, my next, I definitely agree with Joel with the twist at Knights of the Old Republic. Another one related to Joel. Watching Joel play Eternal Darkness and fall for the little game glitch things over and over and over.
What are the game
It
glitches?
had,
I'm not familiar with this. What is this?
like, it has what's called a sanity meter. So like the more you get scared by this stuff, your sanity starts lowering, and as it does, things start happening to the game. Like you all of a sudden you see the volume thing on the screen, like it's going up and then it goes all the way down, and you have like no sound. And Joel's like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, I'm like, James, like, why'd you turn the volume down? And it was the game. But I keep getting tripped up because I don't know, I just wasn't expecting it.
And like your body just like explodes and like you fall on the floor, and he's like, no, what happened? It's like, just kidding, I'm losing my sanity. Playing Super Mario Brothers 3 when it first came out, like going to my friend's house and staying up all night.
James is old, guys.
Shut it.
I was around. I remember.
I was around. I don't think I was old enough.
Own it.
I don't. I was
Some
old
friends
enough
of
to
mine
remember.
had it.
How old were you when it came out, Joel? Actually, you don't have to answer that on here, but I doubt you were like.
When did it come? Because I was born in '85. So.
Anybody will look it up?
I was born in '89.
Wasn't it?
Super Mario Brothers 3 was SNES, right?
No.
No, that was.
It was NES?
Wow, it was NES. Yeah.
I might not have been born.
I feel like it was like '87.
I think 87 feels right. Yeah.
Wait, Super Mario.
Everyone's googling right now together
I'm not.
3.
as a team. No, I'm not either. I went for it. And I'm like, oh, look at all the hands.
Dave, we're
moving.
both too young. It doesn't apply to us.
88.
88. Okay, yep, wasn't
October
born.
of 88.
No, that's
Wow.
Japan.
I was born then. Yeah.
Ultra confirms 88 in chat. I'm happy with that answer if we want to move on.
No,
Yep, move on.
really, are you sure it was 88? It's Japan in '88. So
Well, then it would be
it was
here
90,
later. Not
It was 90.
no.
1990. Yeah.
No.
I was
I'm
born.
on Wikipedia.
But
The NES
Ultra
Famicom,
knows
yeah.
all. Yep, 1990. So you were old enough to at least have
Yeah, I
seen
mean,
it.
like, it was people owned it. I don't think I was around when they just bought it. Like, but I remember, like, shortly after, everyone was playing it. It was crazy how long games lasted back then. It was like, oh,
Well,
you
'cause
buy
you
a
were
game,
young
It's
and
like you
you-
had it for 4 years.
Yeah,
though.
because your parents wouldn't get you any others. Like my
Yeah, that's all we
nephew has been playing like one of the Lego games for like a year and a half now. He doesn't know there's another world out there. To him, like, this is gaming. This game right here is your life. Simpler times.
So again, showing my age, getting the Sega Genesis for the first time, just because it was
cool.
the first. I mean, I had the Atari before that, so I would say I made a generation jump. But that was the first like 8-bit to 16-bit, and like arcade-like graphics and stuff. It was exciting being a kid.
Do you
back
know
then.
how Apple keynotes always say, like, this iPad is 400,000 times better than the original one? Which I would think, like, why don't you just do from the last one?
Because it's not that big of a change anymore. They can't be.
Yeah,
It's
but-
18% better.
But now I want to see PCs when PCs come out, like new like CPUs and stuff. It's like it's quadrillion times better than the 16-bit Sega
This
Genesis.
hard drive, if you had this much storage back in 1965, it'd take up the entire state of Texas. Like, that's not really applicable information.
So useful.
All right,
Yeah.
but two more. Actually, I wanted to add. I forgot about this one, Joel. Your first time playing all those Atari games, and we recorded them.
We haven't. Where is that? Where's our channel?
Did you start like a
Gamers?
YouTube channel? Yeah,
Yeah,
that was going to be a thing, wasn't it? Like, you guys were going to record these old games and play them? Like, play them
Yeah.
and show them to the world?
Life just got in the way.
Anyway, let me get my last
Oh.
one away so we can move along.
Okay, here we go.
And this is the one.
I'm
This is the
posting
one that
link.
was on Joel's list too. But walking out of the vault for the first time in Fallout 3.
There it is.
Yep. It just. I don't know. I wasn't expecting it. I honestly, when I started playing that game, I didn't look it up much. I saw that it was like an RPG. I didn't play Oblivion at the time, and so it was a brand new experience for me.
So you went in blind almost.
Yep.
Wow.
And
I
just
understand
walking
your
out
love
the first
now,
time, I was
James.
like, "Holy crap!" It's DC, but obviously not DC that we all get to drive to.
Right.
yeah.
But it was similar
If
enough
we
that it
lived
had
close
that
to
charm.
that.
I think
Anyway.
a lot of people drive to DC.
I think you can drive there from anywhere
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
in the
Anywhere.
U.S.
Hawaii.
except Hawaii. They have boats.
Boats
Right?
to carry
You
cars,
can
too,
drive a
actually.
boat. You can drive a plane.
They had to
Anyway,
get a lot more after the 40s.
but to also add to that, hearing the radio station for the first time, like I never expected that I would like that music that much, and it just stuck.
I think that's how I grew to love 80s music, was playing Vice City. Like, just cruising around, running over people. I don't want to lose your love tonight.
Somewhere a soccer mom's just like, we gotta legislate. We gotta legislate. What was that?
This feels like an irresponsible amount of fun. Can't put my finger on it, but it feels like kids shouldn't do this.
Can we ban this possibly?
All right. Well, that's it for me.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Dave.
Well, James took my LAN party thunder, but I think that's like a pretty much almost universal shared experience for certain groups of nerdy people.
Honestly, I don't think even he needed to be that nerdy to really enjoy it back in the day.
I mean, Halo 1 was like when it started to just be like really mainstream, I think.
I know a lot of people now that don't do any gaming, but they were so into Halo.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
like
that's
Madden
true.
or COD. Like, you don't have to love gaming it's a major entertainment thing that happens every year. Just like there's tons of people who watch like all the Marvel movies who don't really know anything or care much about comic books. They just really enjoy that one franchise.
It's kind of an event.
Yeah. All right, what else you got, Dave?
Favorite moments. The twist in BioShock 1 got me so good. Like, it blew my mind. That's one of my favorite single player game moments.
Is that a
ever.
happiest moment though? When he's going, "You're a slave." You're like, "Yay!"
No, because it was like, in the moment, like, I'm like, okay, it's a twist. Then like I start thinking back to like the entirety of the game's dialogue up to that point, 2/3 of the game. I'm like, everything like hinted at this. The entire game up to this point.
Oh, I know, Dave.
I was
it's
like,
so good.
It's like you look back on that first part of the game, the first 2/3, and you just like shift perspective all of a sudden. You're like, it's like I look at it totally different now when I play back through it. So good for a twist.
Well, wasn't that game just so amazing because it was like it wasn't that it was your character is a slave. It was that like you as the player. That's how I felt when I played. I was like,
you.
oh my gosh, I totally just did it. Like, because I mean, the same when you like install a program and it's like read the agreement and stuff. I'm like, I agree. I don't care. Like I felt like that where I was like, oh my gosh, I should have actually listened to what the guy was saying. Like sometimes you just kind of like, yeah, give me the arrow, I'll go there.
But he said he was trustworthy. He said he was going to help me.
Can we change the saying, Joel, to where it's like a slave clicks I accept. A man reads the terms of service.
A very old man reads the terms of service
with lots of free time. On top of that, obviously BioShock 1 was just a fantastic game mechanically in the world of Rapture. Beautiful. And then of course I've got to have DayZ mod moments. Joel, do you remember the first night that we both played the mod? I think it was just me playing the first night. Like I was trying it out, and I'm like, Joel, we gotta try it.
Yesterday, Dave.
Second
and
day,
I'm still hoping for that experience.
me and Joel.
Wait, is that a negative? Is that a negative comment?
No, this is hope. It's just
hope,
happy
happiness.
hopefulness.
That's like saying,
Slipping.
I hope you turn into less of an ass someday, Joel. We can get real passive aggressive here. I hope nothing happens to you later.
Truly hope. All right, so Joel, that first night that we played together, okay, I hadn't played ARMA 2 in, at that point, 3 years. I had put it aside because my computer couldn't handle it. My poor CPU was getting crushed. We get
Joel, you all right there, little buddy?
Did I just kill Joel?
He's having a moment.
I think Joel
He's having a moment.
Before our very eyes. I really can't understand what just happened. I'm just gonna keep going until Joel gets composure here. Okay.
I've never seen Joel do
Joel's
this.
giving me the helicopter signal, so I'm gonna keep going.
Roll out. Move on without me.
That's right, Joel. We did find a helicopter later. Thank you for reminding. So the first night, it was playing at night. Because back in the early days, the first weeks of the mod, like the servers were full. Most of them were like full day-night cycle with nighttime. We get lost in Chinaris. We like run into this guy, and I'm like, Joel, should we help him? And like voice chat was broken at the time, so like you can only chat over global. So we're trying to get over global. Joel, are you okay?
What's going on?
Joel, don't drink that water. Don't drink that water, Joel. You're gonna drown. That noise. All right, I'm gonna pause my story, Joel. What happened? I think I missed something here.
I don't know if I can say.
Oh no. What does that mean?
Nothing. Continue, Dave. You're just amazing storyteller and just made me laugh.
Can you Can you explain? Because you lost it for about 3 minutes there. I'd like to understand.
I think you got some fans in the chat.
Oh my, what that's going on? Everyone needs you. The world needs you. What's going on? Sorry, I'm so sorry. Don't think this was, but James just sent me a poke from TeamSpeak at the perfect moment. He says, Jeremiah looks like Hitler tonight. And I just lost it. The earmuffs cover a little bit of the side, and I was like, I just died. I don't even know why it's so funny, but it is.
Okay, so it wasn't that you thought Shinaris was hilarious, then. I feel a little bit better.
Oh man, I'm dead.
So you just thought I looked like Hitler. I'm cool with that. If I could inspire people half as well as Hitler did, I'm doing all right.
What a derailment.
I can't even. Oh.
Okay, so, but yeah, that first night in DayZ, where it's pitch black, it's broken, you can only communicate over global chat, not even direct. One guy's like begging for help at that one farm compound that I now know is, gosh, where was it? I think it was Staroy, I think. But we played until the sun came up in game. And Joel, it was like 3:30 in the morning for us, and like we get to the coast, and like the sun's coming up over the coast, and it was just an awesome experience. And then of course, you know, some of the group stuff in DayZ, once everybody got hooked on it, that first time that we all went to the Northwest Airfield as a group in that huge nighttime firefight, the first time that we, you know, met at camp and all that stuff.
You mean the one where I lost the Ural and we all died?
No, you always forget the first one where like we were creeping up and Joel was trying to like bait people with a flare, like it wasn't working, so we're just like, let's just loot like the barracks. But we didn't realize there were like 6 people crouched in the dark just waiting for people to come. So we just like charge in, this huge gunfight erupts. That was amazing.
Dave, I bet you can probably agree. Our favorite moment in DayZ was probably that. It was the first night or the second night. Remember, like I remember telling like, Dave, you got to get the mod, right? And so I installed it, and we came home, and I had gotten in before him just for a little like maybe an hour or so before he got in, and I got shot, and I had like the post processing on before we realized we could turn it off so you don't have the crazy blurring. But I'm like, Dave, I can't see it. I'm just crawling around, and I put a flare on a road, wait for other people to come down so I could snipe them and take their health or whatever.
Take their health? That's not how health works.
No, but I remember Dave and I, we went to some like little orchard area, and there was some guy that was like with a flare, and he was like, you guys friendly and everything, and we were just like totally freaking out during that part. It was just so awesome. It was like,
it's
we're
so
on a
great
real
too,
adventure.
Joel, because of how broken that was. Like I was saying, like voice chat wasn't working, direct chat wasn't working, so the guy was talking to us over global, so we're like trying to like read his messages to us, like, I see you guys there in the orchard, but like in all the retarded global chat spam on the mod, everyone's like, who just sniped me in Cherno? LOL, I just saw your car go by. We're like trying to read messages and all that mess. I don't miss global chat. But oh man, those first weeks and months really on the mod were fantastic. That's it for me, I think. DayZ.
People already guessed that in chat well before you took your turn, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, mine, I'm going to start the most recent and then work my way back.
I just saw Ultra DayZ playing DayZ, getting a chopper in DayZ.
My most recent couple, when we pulled off that Payday 2 heist.
I forgot about that.
Because it took so many tries, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. We're all just screaming at each other because we're so frustrated. And then there was the one, like, we got in and killed, like, I think every civilian died in like a 5-second window. And there was
I think
we
made $3 after
guys,
all the penalties.
did we do it? Did we do it? And everyone's like, we did it. And we're like, stay calm. And my heart's just going, just sweating all over. I'm like, you stay calm, buddy.
The best was the 30-minute of silence as we looted.
I know, it was like this nice warm summer breeze was blowing through there and just taking a casually.
Oh yeah, we were live streaming it. Ultra's telling us everything we're doing wrong. Yeah, that was really good.
He's like, you need to do this. We're like, but we just killed everybody, so that worked too.
The duper heist in DayZ. We had our own DayZ server for a while, and there was one guy who was on there were a couple people who were on consistently, and there was one guy who was on all the time. And Dave and I were driving around up north looking for tents and running them over, just like people who were duping stuff on our server, because duping was really easy in the DayZ mod. And then we came across this campsite out in the woods that had our UAZ, which had been stolen like earlier that week. It had our UAZ and had tents with so many guns, like the most guns we'd ever seen in game. So we both started freaking out. We were checking the player list. There was only a couple people on. So Dave went to get vehicles and met up with Aaron, who used to play with us, and Yoshi. and they came back and brought vehicles, and we were loading all the weapons into the vehicles. Like we were just going to steal them all.
A whole campsite.
A whole camp of dude weapons. We're just going to load them all in the vehicles and steal them just to spite the guy.
We were like uprooting the entire camp,
and we were almost done.
And
like we were shooting was it a bus, I think, like to blow it up. And the guy spawned back in. I actually, in the video, if you go back and watch, I ran right past him because I didn't know. Like it's just a guy, another guy in a ghillie suit. And so a gunfight erupted. He shot Dave. He shot me. I was bleeding. Dave died. We were driving off. Like I'm bleeding. I'm afraid. Like I gotta pull over and bandage. We don't know what's happening. And then we successfully drove all the vehicles all the way home and parked them. And I mean, they were gone within a couple days, but that was like just like heart pounding the entire time.
It was so perfect too, because we had lined up all of our vehicles loaded with all that guy's gear, like in a line, and you were shooting the bus. And so when the guy spawned in, I'm like it's actually him. Like, what are the freaking odds? It's like the 5 of us and then just him on the server. He spawns in, I get killed, you shoot him, but we have the vehicles all lined up. So once you guys like shot him, I'm just like, get the trucks out of there, and you guys just like all get in. Like the whole convoy just rolls out of his campsite with all his stuff. It was beautiful.
And then the good old days of Battlefield 2 in college and after college, playing with friends. I successfully got maybe 10 people in our dorm playing Battlefield 2. And it was really awesome because at that point the game was old enough it could run on most people's computers, at least on lowish settings. So we would pretty much every night there was at least a few people playing, and some nights we had like 6 or 7 people. And our last week of that semester, the week I graduated college, we got everyone together.
This is after exams, right?
Well, I was a graphic designer, so I just had final projects. While everyone was freaking out over exam week, I'm just touching up my portfolio and applying for jobs. It was awesome. But yeah, for everyone else, I guess it was past exams. I don't really care. But we had a really awesome time. We played for a couple hours. Like, it was pretty amazing. And then the early days of Battlefield 3, where like the whole group was playing together pretty consistently a couple times a week. Like, the game was super solid. That was a really fun experience. Also in college, when Modern Warfare, the first one, came out, Chris and I had just met each other like 2 weeks before that. And we started playing it together, and we beat the entire campaign, I don't know, 5-6 times, all the difficulties. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4.
Good. Yeah.
And then we played so much multiplayer. It was our first semester, so we didn't have a ton of schoolwork. So we'd come back from class and like just play it for hours, just swapping the controller off in between matches. And we got like really good in Modern Warfare. I mean, a lot of people did. But like that's when Call of Duty was just blowing up, and that was a ton of fun. For single player stuff, Half-Life 2, Episode 2, pretty much that entire time, I just giggled the entire episode. Like, the battle sequences, like, there's the giant strider things around in the forest, just, epic. Like, blowing up buildings and stuff. At the time, that was the most epic gaming I'd ever seen. I was playing it on, I think my PS3 is the first way I played Episode 2. Because I beat Half-Life 2 on my PC and then got the orange box with Episode 1 and 2 on my PS3. And it was, it still looked really good. And it played really awesome. And then my last one is actually something that's been going on for 15 years. And that's playing Age of Empires and Age of Empires 2 with my brother. Both my brothers and I played it when we were younger. Like, Age of Empires was pretty much our only game that we had for over a year. And we just played... I still think I've played more of that than anything else. But now, not to bring it down too much, but as my brother, like my next youngest brother, and I have gotten older, we've grown apart a little bit. Like, we've ended up liking a lot of the same things, but he started liking them after I left for college. So like, I wasn't really around when he was really becoming a teenager and everything. And we've kind of drifted apart, and we don't really have like the brother relationship that a lot of brothers do. But one thing that we still is very consistent is we both love Age of Empires, and Age of Empires 2 HD edition will run on anything. So got a gift copy for it, and like
even on that Apple Watch.
He's probably he's in the military now. Like, he's in the military. He lives a couple states. So, oh my gosh!
Thanks for bringing us back down, Joel.
Happy cast. Those are his happy sounds.
Well, no, this part's happy. He's in the military. He lives a couple states away. Like, we really, like, we're not great at communicating with each other and, you know, hanging out and stuff, but we can still hop on Age of Empires every couple
like
weeks.
Brotherhood to me.
Yeah, well, yeah. We can still hop on Age of Empires every couple weeks and have an awesome time. He kills me every single time without fail. but it's still a really fun time. So that's some of the happiest I've ever been while gaming. Gaming with you guys in general, I'm pretty happy most of the time, but that like stands out as a pretty singular thing that's really, really awesome. So yeah.
I have one last thing to add that James mentions was playing GTA 5 on the 360 with John swimming in the ocean, and there was some really weird delay, and we were like jumping out of the water like dolphins. So I really hope that has come across to the PS4, because that was the best night ever. I was crying laughing.
Please link that in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Is there a link to? Do you have a video of Dolphin Night?
Oh yeah, I do.
He's only got his audio, but that's all you need.
Oh yeah, I've got this.
You got this.
Of course, one of Joel's favorite moments is just being a dolphin with John.
Oh yeah, it's actually just
the
called
gayest of all
swimming.
the animals.
It's a blowhole.
Dolphin swimming. Just skip ahead for the dolphin swimming. It's amazing. Oh, so good.
All right.
Everyone gets quiet to watch the video.
Why
Why don't you link with time?
I mean, it's only like a 4-minute
Joel does not
video,
understand
so.
how to link YouTube videos without including the entire playlist. He can't link time. He can't use the shortener for the URL.
That sounds negative.
He only links.
Say it positively.
Oh yeah, I think
and I love him
Dave
for
just
it.
got himself a negative.
Dave just got a
And I love
negative
him for it. I love you for it, Joel.
What you needed to say, Dave, was I hope Joel one day can learn how to link.
There is an
YouTube videos.
opportunity for Joel to.
There's an opportunity to improve
himself.
Just like how I'm so excited that there's an opportunity for a patch to make Far Cry 4 play better. I'm so excited.
This is like the passive aggressive happiness podcast.
Let's be honest,
We
you
don't
guys.
have joy.
Thank you,
I
Pierogi,
hope
for
Joel has
scanning
much
ahead in
room
the
to
video
improve
and
it.
telling everyone what they
I
want to know. All right, it is now time for the news. And this first bit of news is not actually news. I'm not sure why I put it in here at this point, but there's so many awesome games have been coming out the past couple weeks and coming out in the next couple weeks. Far Cry 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, Assassin's Creed Unity, Smash Brothers, Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting. Call of Duty. Like, what are you guys looking forward to playing over the next couple months of the holiday season? Because it's all pretty much coming out right now. What are you excited about?
Well, we've already been playing GTA.
Gonna play it more
So
tonight.
that's going to be more exciting to play. Although I have to say it looks really good.
It does.
Like playing it from the last generation to this.
I think think if you could tell 15-year-old you there'll be Grand Theft Auto one day that you can play with friends online. You would be like, yay!
It looks so real.
Or
Jeremiah, if I told
25-year-old James.
I was going to say 50-year-old me's like, GT what?
Yeah, what is that?
15-year-old James is like, fire!
We have 3D games. We got Wolfenstein.
I want a game that's like. Wait, we got. Never mind. Not gonna say it.
I'm pretty excited to play.
Joel, you got so close.
Wow.
I knew what you were gonna say.
I'm keeping it positive.
It's more not talking.
I'm pretty excited to play Dragon Age, but I've actually played the other two all the way through. I mean, the story hasn't been great, but for what they're saying, I think it was IGN that said they've put 90 hours into it.
Dang, so it's
Yeah.
more like the first one then, right? Because the first one was huge and epic and long, and the second one was a little, I won't say dumbed down, but it wasn't.
No, it was dumbed down.
It was dumbed down? Okay.
I mean, like if you refer to dumbed down as like removing mechanics from the first game, making it a more linear storyline, all that. I mean, it was dumbed down.
Okay.
Streamlined, I guess you could say, to stay positive.
Dave doesn't want that second demerit on his record.
I didn't know they held such weight.
No, Joel, no.
Joel's going to strap the Oculus Rift onto your...
Like,
While you're asleep, Joel's going to strap the Oculus Rift onto your face and just start playing a loop of Alien Isolation.
I wake up on the
Taco
ship.
Crusher Simulator.
Someone's just urinating on tacos.
All your coffee is decaf.
Speaking of Oculus, I downloaded this a little demo called. It was just like Fear of Spiders demo. It was actually really hard to do. You put your hands down on the table, and it looks like you're sitting at a desk, and it looks like it has CG arms that are on the table, right? And you look at a certain icon that says more spiders, and you can see less spiders. Well, the longer you look at more spiders, it introduces new waves of adding new spiders. And dude, I literally couldn't keep my hands there. It was
What would you have done if Joy had walked by and started touching your hand, just going?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like Joy was in the room, and I'm like, oh, I can't do. Like even just having the mask on, looking, because they're like sitting around, but then they'll like crawl up near the hand and look like they're about to touch like this. And then sometimes if you look at them, they'll kind of look back like they tell you're looking at them, and they kind of like flinch like they're gonna jump. It was nerve wracking. John tried it, and he was a boss. He just totally did it. He's not scared of spiders at all, so I'm definitely a little bit more scared of spiders. But we know Jeremiah is not scared of anything.
That's not true.
DT like a boss.
Joel, what you mean to say is that you wish you could improve your relationship with spiders.
I wish.
Spiders and Joel just haven't come to the culmination of the deep friendship he knows they'll one day have.
Oh, so it's a touching story.
Next bit of news. The next Battlefield will return to its military roots, which I found interesting because the only Battlefield that hasn't had military roots hasn't even come out yet.
I know, that's such a weird idea.
I'm not saying this to be negative. It just seems weird that they're already saying the next one won't be. It's like, I mean, why don't you just let the game come out and like be successful or be a failure, but like let it come out first, like give it a chance. They're like, don't worry guys, this next one's going to be amazing, but the next one after that's not going to be anything like it.
Yeah, I laughed at that because I was wondering, I'm like, wait, are they already like dissing that game in the next Star Wars game? I'm like, I can't wait for Star Wars.
Well, the next Star Wars game isn't a Battlefield game,
but in all intents and purposes, it's going to be basically.
It's pretty much a really awesome Battlefield mod.
Battlefield, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. All right, we have Star Wars trailer news. What's up with that?
I just thought I'd share this because I got excited about this, and this is a happy cast. But there was, and this is not really spoiling anything because it doesn't tell you anything. But basically, someone had seen and heard that basically the new Star Wars trailer is going to come out soon, and someone got possibly a rumored look at it. And basically, it's going to be just a couple, fade in, fade outs of different characters and the costumes and stuff like that and the environments and stuff. And towards the end, it ends with the line, "Wake up," or something like that. I think that's what they said. Because the title's called The Force Awakens.
Wake up, Mr. Skywalker. You've been asleep too long. We need your help. That's
Can
a
you
weird
do that
mashup.
voice? Can you do that voice in Norman as the Bandit King?
Yes. Hello there.
We gonna need to search this guy.
Hello there, little buddy. What you doing wandering around in our area? I'm gonna shine this light in your eyes. Ooh, I can see all your secrets. Careful, y'all. Don't hurt him. Much.
Please, Joel,
Save a little piece for me.
We need to record a radio drama.
Yeah, can we pretty much do a redub, like a special features where we redub all the audio? Yeah, as a radio.
We actually have a plan to do that for the whole movie.
Well, yeah, that could be the sax track, the sexy sax track. I know you had a friend who offered to do the sax track, but can we get the sexy sax man to redub it? It'll all be just the one song.
But the last thing for the Star Wars trailer is that after the logo, they always have a little stinger at the end, and it's supposedly going to be the Millennium Falcon flying towards you, just shooting lasers and stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna freak out.
Now, when are you going to see this trailer? Is before the next Marvel movie?
People think it's going to be before the end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll tell you,
possibly.
And I think that'll be. I mean, that'll be an insane teaser, which that's kind of all I expect. But I was hoping that the teaser wouldn't just be a logo. Like
Right.
I was hoping they would show at least.
Usually movie teasers have a little bit more. Like the Avengers Age of Ultron teaser's 2.5 minutes. Like, I'm not sure what's a teaser.
Yeah,
at that
but they
point.
had something before that.
That's 1/60th of the movie.
Do you remember the Man of Steel teaser though?
Yes,
the Man of Steel teaser literally was just the Superman logo. Like that was it.
Well, that was the first one. Then
That's not the original.
Then there was the one where
Age
it was
of
just
Ultron.
like him brushing his hand through like the grass, and then like the
Yeah, yeah.
clothesline with the really inspirational music, and then to stay positive. The movie could have more lived up to the expectations set by the trailer, but yeah, it was still a pretty good teaser. I saw a really awesome trailer. We went to see Interstellar this past weekend. Debbie and John were in town, and we went to see it at IMAX. Not just IMAX though, at the local Air and Space Center. So they've got a real IMAX screen where like the sound is physically painful at times. In Interstellar, where like the spaceship's taking off, like it feels like your chest is compressing. Like, oh, it's beautiful. But they had a Fast and Furious 7 trailer before the movie, and I spent the whole time just. Spoilers to how much I love the Fast and Furious movies. Here's the whole Blu-ray set right here. And 2 days after Thanksgiving, me and some friends. James, you coming up for this?
I think I might.
Ooh, me and some friends are going to marathon all 6 Fast and Furious movies. Oh my! Ooh, Vin Diesel. Let's steal some cars.
Getting the case of the vapors.
Apparently, Jeremiah's a plantation owner.
I think Joel's bringing out more of the plant. Like I don't feel that in my character. I'm not feeling the plantation owner. I see myself as like a distinguished gentleman with a fedora, a bunch of cigars, and a big basement where I have fun activities.
And an army.
It's more of a community of like-minded, like-skinned individuals.
His is not this, James. It's slap a seal.
Wow. Paper red.
Yeah, it's a little warm in here, actually.
All right, next bit of news. ISO, which is a monitor company I've never heard of before, but ISO is coming out with the new FlexScan EV2730Q. People, come on. Name stuff, things that people will remember, please. But they're coming out with a 26.5-inch square monitor. It's 1920 by 1920 resolution. They're calling it, quote, wide all around. It has 78% more pixels than a standard widescreen 1080p monitor. They said the vertical space is convenient for displaying large amounts of information in long windows, resulting in less scrolling and a more efficient view of data. They said this makes the monitor ideal for displaying information such as CAD or program development data with a more complete overall view on screen. It's a non-glare IPS panel, 5 millisecond graded gray response time, 1001 contrast ratio, 3000 nits of brightness, a 2-port USB 2 hub, built-in speakers, and DisplayPort and DVI-D connectivity. So it has all of that stuff. It has a flexible stand with height adjustment, tilt, and swivel. It does not include rotate because it's a square screen, and that wouldn't really make any sense. It'll be available the first quarter of next year. No word yet on price.
All right, I'm going to stay positive. I like widescreen.
I do too. It's interesting. Like I see what they say about like having more vertical real estate's nice, but
a lot of developers use vertical.
They
always use vertical.
I'm using a vertical monitor. My email monitor is a vertical monitor, and it's awesome. I guess I'd have to use a square monitor. Like I'm not saying it's bad. I've never used one, but I liked the move from 4:3 to widescreen a lot. So I guess even if I don't use all that space, like. I'll use the space of the monitor for something else. Yeah. So I'll have like something else. I mean, I use 2 monitors, so I obviously use more than what one widescreen monitor gives. But even when I'm down to 1, I still try to put different programs side by side to use up my whole screen. I'm pretty excited. I've got a 4K monitor on the way. And I'm pretty excited to see like how many windows can I stack side by side. And, yeah, thank you, Dave.
It's gonna be one full screen of Twitter,
4K Twitter.
You know, if you just hooked it up to your projector and moved your font size down to like non-viewable, you could get a lot of windows on your wall.
That's true. At that point, I think it might be like too low resolution. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm excited. For anyone who's curious. Literally no one is, I'm sure. Dave got me. He got me. I just gotten paid for a wedding, flush with all that business cash. You know, the business needed an upgrade. But Dell just last week announced a 27-inch IPS 4K monitor. It doesn't have any of the shortcomings of all the previous 4K monitors that have been affordable. It's 60 hertz, single panel, IPS. Has all the display, like it has a good Dell stand, so it's got the rotate, all the tilt, swivel, height adjustment, all the awesome Dell features. It has USB 3, it has HDMI 2.0, it has DisplayPort 1.4, like it has all the adjustments, everything. It was $700, and then as soon as it came out, people on Slick Deals figured out how to stack a couple Dell coupon codes and get it for $500 shipped. And Dave sent that to me right when I got home from a wedding, and I was weak. I just sat down and ordered it, like before I even started dumping cards from the wedding. I was like, fine, I'll do it.
You dumped a card that night.
No, that was the day after my 970 torched itself. Back to the 290 Mazda race.
Wait, I didn't hear about that. I meant your credit card. What happened?
No, my 970, I was testing out streaming settings. Just so everyone knows, if you're tired of choppy podcast streaming, well, one, the cheap ass 4 should help with that because we'll be moving streaming over to a separate box. But even if that didn't happen, I figured out using Shadowplay. You can actually use Shadowplay encoding with Open Broadcaster, and I was broadcasting at locked 30 FPS at a quality setting, the Blu-ray quality preset, and people who were watching it said it looked amazing, or it looked really good for a Twitch stream. And then my computer blue screened and the graphics card no longer worked. So I think I just got a lemon. I mean, it's bound to happen every once in a while, so...
it's okay though. I got your back plate, so
it gave you the experience to give you some more time to think about and be excited about the next video card.
Well, no, it was in the middle of the workday. I was just testing, like I was eating lunch and taking a break. That's when I tested the streaming. So like I had to uninstall drivers, and fortunately I hadn't gotten rid of my 290 yet. I hadn't listed it for sale, so I had to pop it back in, reinstall AMD drivers. I was back up and running in a couple minutes. And my 290 works fine. Honestly, it's a little bit faster than the 970. It's just kind of warm.
Do you not keep a spare card, Jerma?
What?
Do you not keep a spare card just in case?
Yeah, a Radeon 4870.
Yeah, I've got a GTX 9800.
But I mean, I've got a spare card, but also I can just run off integrated graphics. I can run two monitors off. I can run a DVI and an HDMI monitor off my integrated. So if I had to, I could just run off that for a while. It wouldn't be a big deal.
Would this be kind of an interesting idea if like motherboards could have a special, just an extra video card, like an onboard one, like really cheap, crappy, just enough so that if your card does go down and you have no other card, you have a backup to, I don't know, fix something.
Well, yeah, most motherboards have a built-in video adapter.
Do they? That's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, Joel, that's actually...
Is it just VGA still? Or, I mean, like, honestly, I
don't
know
no,
if there's one
most
on
new
mine.
motherboards have HDMI and DVI outputs.
Oh,
that's been the standard for like 15 years. Joel, most like, if you go like into an average office,
in a positive manner.
if you go into it's good because Joel now has the opportunity to be educated on something he didn't know. If you go like to an office,
look on the back of his computer
I know
though.
Some motherboards
Why don't you look on the back of your computer right now?
I haven't.
Oh man, he did not give you a good look.
Was that a happy look, James? I think you have to judge that.
Right now, guys, I'm down below my desk. You can barely hear me in the caverns below. Oh, I see it. It's a DVI and HDMI adapter. Holy crap. You guys are true. I'm an explorer.
That's a sweet lens flare on your camera.
Thank you.
Yeah, but most computers have that, Joel. And they used to have the graphics integrated onto the motherboard. Now with Intel boards, it's actually integrated into the CPU. You have like the HD 4000 graphics. And if you install the drivers and set up a couple things, you can use the Intel graphics processor to actually do some computing. I actually do a lot of my video rendering when I'm mastering large files down to smaller ones, like to send to people or stuff. I use Handbrake, and I use the Intel QuickSync video, and it will encode HD 1080p video at like 300 to 400 FPS. It is super quick. So it's really awesome.
Oh, actually, related fact about DayZ. DayZ is obviously CPU bound and not GPU bound. Joel,
he's laughing about something else. Who are you making fun of this time, guys?
When I see both of you laugh at the same time, I know there's trouble.
I will not be repeating this one.
Okay then. Intel actually sent Bohemia some information about the onboard graphics on some of their newest boards, and Bohemia did some code adjustments. And there was a guy who was doing some testing, like an actual player, who was just like, I wonder if I can run DayZ on my motherboard. He was getting 30 FPS on low settings with his integrated graphics at 900p on his Intel motherboard, thanks to the optimizations, which is pretty wild. So it's actually an option for some gaming.
Wait,
like
which optimizations?
The optimizations just for that
Just for integrated Intel graphics, yeah. Intel, like, they sent Intel some codes, and Intel, like, sent some stuff back, too. So there's some back and forth, and there's actually a player who can play DayZ on integrated graphics which really explains the CPU bottleneck. Like, if you don't need a graphics card to play, I think there's some headroom on the
As soon
graphics
as
You don't
card.
even need a monitor to play. You just need audio.
Think
Just
how,
an MP3
think how
player.
amazing DayZ will be when they finally get like dual core support in there. Like the game's just
Oh,
gonna
man.
explode. Silky,
Arma
so
with
silky.
Multi-core support.
What?
Or ARMA with multi-core support.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, Jeremiah, all those missions you've been making, what if instead of 1 core to play with, if they gave you 8 threads to add stuff into the map?
all
It's
my
on me,
missions would run
flying
faster than
vehicles.
15 FPS. Okay, what's the last news item? Who put that in there?
Oh yeah, this one's actually me. I got an email from my what's the word? YouTube partnership program, I guess. I'm with Machinima. Apparently, Activision has been not only taking down Call of Duty glitch videos, but to take them down, they've been issuing a copyright strike, which does actually hurt your channel's standing with Google and YouTube.
Now, what type of
basically-
videos are they taking down, though?
just glitch videos. Any videos that either showcase glitches, focus on glitches, or funny videos about glitches. Anything that the video is mainly about the glitches. They're using the Digital Millennium Copyright Act to issue a DMCA takedown and strike against the video. This instantly removes it and gets a strike against the channel. And in theory, if your channel gets 3 strikes, you can lose your channel immediately. It just gets taken away from you and it's gone forever. So I wanted to ask you guys. I know this is the Happy Cast, but this struck me as I don't know, a little bit
Gestapo.
grim. Like,
Well, there's two sides of it. On one side, it could be grim. On the other
James, you have a
side,
theme tonight.
they maybe don't want to be promoting. I could see it from their perspective, like maybe they don't want to. Some part of them doesn't want to
Right.
promote cheating or hacking in the game. So they're saying, hey, if you're showing off that at all, we're going to take it down. We want people playing Call of Duty the right way. I can
That's
see
true.
that. I mean, that's. Or they don't want people
I can see
learning
that for
exploits.
multiplayer, like if people are showing off glitches. But what if they're showing off like glitches in single player? Would you have an issue? Do you
Well,
think?
are they taking those down? Do we know that they're doing that?
That's all the details that I have. But
So all we
apparently
know
this
is they're
an
taking
issue.
down multiplayer glitch videos. I would say
No,
if we don't have
It's
more,
not. Is it multiplayer?
I'm assuming.
No, it doesn't say either way. Actually, in the email,
Okay, it doesn't, you can assume it's multiplayer though.
I don't know.
Okay, well we don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
So to be as fair as possible, we don't really know which videos they're taking down. So to give them the benefit of the doubt, it may be because they don't want to propagate popular hacks and stuff until they figure out a way to fix
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
That's
Or
a way to
they-
be positive.
That is a way to be. It's the Happy Cast. Except for the one exception to the Happy Cast is the Singularity Shame segment. I didn't want to save this segment for next week.
It's not the singularity shame. It's a singularity room for improvement.
The Singularity Room for Improvement segment, a part of the podcast where we highlight a company who has a little room to make themselves better. Tonight, we're talking about Comcast, which it could be said has a lot of room to make themselves better.
When you,
They
That
have
means
their.
they have so much room to grow. You know,
They
I mean,
do.
Yeah.
They do.
Some people just look
limitless.
They're like a tiny redwood sapling. The sky is literally the limit.
Oh man.
They have Xfinity Internet, and they're rolling out some new features for next year. So here's some positives, guys. In the Tucson, Arizona market, the internet tiers are going up from 250 to 300 gigabyte. If you have the Blast internet tier, your data usage goes up to 350 gigabyte. If you have Extreme 50 internet, it goes up to 450 gigabytes, and Extreme 105 customers get 600 gigabytes of usage. In other
And these
news,
are
I have
data caps,
Verizon
right?
Fios. Yeah, data caps. I have Verizon Fios, and I Googled it, and someone said, yeah, I've hit 9 terabytes in a month, and no one said anything, so I think we're good. So that's in Tucson, Arizona. So they're bumping up their bandwidth. That's nice. They're doing a trial in some other markets like Huntsville and Mobile, Alabama, Atlanta, Augusta, Savannah, Georgia, Central Kentucky, Maine, Jackson, Mississippi, Knoxville and Memphis, Tennessee, and Charleston, South Carolina. Here is their trial. On Xfinity Internet tiers, they are introducing Xfinity Internet Economy Plus. You can choose to enroll in the flexible data option. You'll receive a $5 credit on your monthly bill. And that $5 credit lowers your data tier from 300 gigabytes to 5 gigabytes. For $5 off a month, you can get 295 gigabytes less data. Now, if customers choose this option and use more than 5 gigabytes of data, they will not receive the $5 credit, and they'll be charged an additional $1 for each gigabyte of data used over 5
my
gigabytes.
God.
Wait,
So
what?
if you save $5 on your internet each month, and you use 6 gigabytes of data, not only do you pay full price, but you pay an extra $1. If you use 300 gigabytes, you pay $300.
Jeremiah, I had to do the math here. For $5, they're just requesting you make the very minor 98.3% reduction in your bandwidth. 98.3%.
What
Lower.
the heck?
It's not a reduction. It's a, how do you say that positive?
It's
Service
a way of
adjustment.
making money.
It's a it's a way of their shareholders making money to feed their families.
It's an
And to-
elimination of
and
it's
And to
elimination
plate their
of data
yachts in
waste.
pearl.
It's an elimination of data waste.
You don't need all those extra gigabytes
Data is
floating
not a
around out there.
renewable resource, guys. The cloud is not renewable.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's literally
Easy.
5 gigs a month they're allowed to download.
Yeah, of total bandwidth, upload, download, anything. That's what
Oh my-
people who
dude,
have like
my
Verizon.
phone does more than that.
That's people who have like Verizon wireless internet have that cap on it. It is pretty crazy. Now, if it was like we're offering an introductory $10 a month plan that's 5 gigs of data, I would say that's an awesome deal. Like that'll get people who've been waiting to make the switch, who just check their email and who won't use 5 gigs. That's an awesome plan for them. But $5 off is bordering on insulting. And by I mean bordering, it's insulting. It's close to the border of insulting, but it's most definitely insulting.
I've used 12 gigs so far this month on my phone.
You don't want to know how much I use on my home internet. Like, it's not pretty. It's anytime Dave's like, hey, can you upload the mod pack again? I'm like, 12 gigs, send her up. On your
I
home
use the
internet?
Mhm.
That's physically impossible.
No,
Joel,
I think
my
he's right,
uploads.
Jeremiah. I
What
think
do you
he's
do?
right.
What are you
He
downloading?
backed up an entire movie.
Yeah, I back up my movie.
How
So
many, how
I'm
many
backing up-
terabytes is that?
What do you mean? How many terabytes? How
Is
many
your
terabytes
movie?
are you uploading?
3. And actually, I just added another 2 terabytes onto it tonight.
Oh, is this all your like photo stuff?
Everything I
Okay,
own
yes,
is
okay.
backed
So
up
you
on
do
the
beat
cloud.
me up. Beat me up. You do beat me up in a happy way that makes me stronger.
The truth comes out here on the podcast, guys. You're watching it live.
Dude, all the Comcast stuff kind of reminds me of the Portlandia episode. It was like, you have unlimited plus family. Oh, that's cool. What does it? Does that give you unlimited text? No. You have to get the family unlimited plus extra edition. It's like, what is that? It's like it gives you 100 free minutes for $99. It's always like, it gives you free unlimited stuff for a fee.
I love the name Economy Plus. It's like, you're a cheap bastard, but we're going to let you feel a little bit better about yourself. Economy
You're
Plus.
cheap, but you live in style.
The El Cheapo Special Edition. Well, that's like that's like game
That's
special
just like
edition.
something
it's like,
Dave would have.
It's like Call of Duty
it really
Advanced.
does.
Cheapo internet.
It's like-
that is Dave.
Call of
Yeah,
Duty
I mean, he says
Advanced
he's cheap,
Warfare.
but he likes nice things.
Big
Sorry, go
Dick
ahead.
Operator Super Swag YOLO Edition. It comes with plastic dog tags and costs an extra $20. It's like, guys, come on. I know someone's gonna buy it, but you should feel bad. You should feel excited about the further room for improvement you have.
By not buying those things.
It is now time for mail time.
It's mail time.
I was waiting.
That was
You can
possibly one
write
of our
into the
longest
show
delays, but-
at, what can they write into, Joel? What's the address?
You can write it into at casualshenanigans@gmail.com.
You did not sound confident that entire time.
I couldn't remember. It's the Twitter one that's the casual shenanigans.
Casual
Right?
shenanigans.
You did say at casualshenanigans@gmail.com. 2 ats.
I did. Oh, well, you can email us at.
Right. I gotcha.
That
gotcha.
makes sense.
It makes sense. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You were just finding it a really nice way to correct me, so that you could.
But it turns
Keep
out
going,
you
just
were
keep
correct
going.
and I was wrong. I apologize, and I admit you were correct
You
all
were not
along.
wrong. You were just not as correct as Joel.
All right, our first bit of mail is from Traven Fallows. He says, "Hey there, all you happy casters. I like the idea." This is a multi-part email. I like the idea of an all happy episode. These have been some stressful times for gamers, console or PC. I'll wait. This is a listener's email, and you will respect it.
Let me just breathe.
Get it out, Joel. Get it out.
Let me just breathe again.
What are you doing? What's happening? I'm confused.
Stab.
I'm the host, and I feel like it's getting away from me. Like I feel like we're in that weird era where like the podcast's taking over. Okay. He said, I like the idea of an all-happy episode. These have been some stressful times for gamers, console or PC. What shining rays of light in the gaming industry give you hope that things aren't changing for the worst? That's the first part. Anyone have any thoughts on that? This has been a year that has room for improvement. I'll just put it this way. The only game I've played this year that just like went in, worked the first time, and was a fun experience start to finish, no problems, was Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And I did not think I was going to say that about Call of Duty any year like coming up. I was going to say, hey, wow, that Call of Duty, that was the most fun I've had playing the game this year so far. But it was, well, GTA is probably going to take over for that.
And
but,
wait, the question was again, what's the...
what shining rays of light in the gaming industry give you hope that things aren't changing for the worst?
Payday 2's continued support. It is now one of the most played games on Steam.
That's pretty cool.
I saw a post a few days ago of the top 10 games on Steam. I think it was like Tuesday or so. And it was like, number 1 was ARMA 3, which kind of blew my mind. Think Altus Life. People are going nuts over Altus Life. It was ARMA 3, and then a couple other like games you expect, like Civilization and stuff like that. And then it was DayZ and Payday 2, like all right there in the top 5, like some more indie games right up there. So that was pretty cool.
This validates your choice in gaming, Dave.
Yeah, this is all just about me feeling superior in my gaming choices.
Shining rays of
so that
light.
you can
I think
use your ultimate power to help those that are weak.
we got a lot of mail to get through.
Like your poor computer, Joel. It has room for improvement too.
First, shining rays of light. I mean, the important thing to keep in mind is when stuff is happening, when you're in the middle of it, things seem darker than they actually are. Like you remember all the bad stuff, but you really only remember the highlights from years ago. There have always been awesome things in the gaming industry, and there's always been stuff that sucked. If you want to go back to the days where, like, if a game was broken, you weren't going to get any patches because you had dial-up internet and your console couldn't even connect to it, and, like, you were just stuck. On the flip side, the games typically did work better when they actually released. But these days, you can find out everything you want to know. You can make a much more informed decision about a game before it comes out. You used to have to, like, wait and, read Game Informer or something. Like you'd have to wait a long time to buy a game. These days you can find out pretty much everything you need to know, and you can go on YouTube and watch someone play through the entire game if you want and decide like, hey, is this worth my money or not?
Now you can actually take someone's controller on PlayStation.
Yeah, that's true. On PlayStation, you can like borrow someone's game over the internet. That's pretty awesome.
I'm waiting for someone to be able to hack that on the PS4. So he just jumps in, just steals someone's game in the middle of the night, like turns their PS4 on, and is like, sweet, I'm playing a free game.
Are you saying that in a positive manner, Joel? Like
yeah,
you're waiting because you're excited to be able to do it?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
How about this, Jeremiah? How about we each pick one ray of light from the last 2 weeks for games? Can we all find something in the last 2 weeks?
All right.
It's been a rough 2 weeks, but I know we can find something. I'll go first if you guys want to think about it.
Go for it.
So over the weekend, I was finally home for the first time, like all weekend for the first time in like a month and a half. And I was digging through my embarrassingly large Steam library. There's a ray of light right there. It's just so big I can't handle it.
Oh, I gotta get one.
And
That's what your mom usually happily says in excitement.
Thanks for clarifying, Jeremiah.
She's happy. I just wanted to. It's consensual. Keep going.
Well, I'm glad you clarified that too. So
Hi, Mom.
I finally got around to the second part of the BioShock Infinite DLC, the Buried at Sea Part 2. Mm-hmm. That had a lot of potential, a crossover between Infinite and the World of Rapture. Like, that had so much potential to just be super cheesy and terrible. It's amazing. It's probably some of the best DLC I've ever played for a single-player game. And I'm like, how is there BioShock DLC still in my library that I had not played through yet? And then my obvious answer was that I was super cheap and just bought it in April in the spring sale for $5.
Was this BioShock Infinite or BioShock?
It was BioShock Infinite Buried at Sea Part 2. I'd already played Part 1, but Part 2 is even so much better. I haven't played
Part 2. Is Part 2 really, really good?
Did you enjoy Part 1? Like, was it really good?
Yeah, it was short, but it was really good.
Part 2 is easily 3 times as good. It's incredible. I mean, it feels like the first game all over again almost.
Have you beaten it?
I think a third of the way through now. I got 3 or 4 hours in. It's so good. But yeah, I was like, but seriously, how was there BioShock DLC in my library that I had not consumed in its entirety? That's my ray of light for the last 2 weeks.
Next has something. James?
Yeah, I do. Actually, with PSN you get those free games, and usually they're just like, I'll download it. Even I might not even download. I might just set it, download, then cancel it, just so it automatically adds to my library.
Yeah. Just in case.
And so I didn't feel like getting like really invested in a game, surprisingly. And so I hadn't tried SteamWorld Dig yet. Holy crap! I sat and played for 4.5 hours.
Nice.
Like I wasn't planning on playing. I just figured I was just gonna try it out, and I just kept going and going and going and going. I beat it the next day, like after 6.5 hours of total play time. But it was a really, really good experience.
And you got it for free?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
If you don't have it already, Dave, I'd recommend it. It has that loot feeling. It's got kind of an old school like platformer feel.
James, you and I just need like a code for a game where we can't explain the call of the loot, but like we just know. So
it's Oblivion level.
How about, James, we just call it a loot recommendation. Like I can give you a game that's just a loot recommendation. You'll just accept it at face value as it's going to consume.
You won't accept it. He'll loot that recommendation.
It's called. We're not loot brothers for nothing, Dave.
Loot bros. Hey, it's not wrong if it's consensual. Right, Jeremiah?
As John told me the other day, it's not gay if you don't look. That's what he said. I was like, wait, what'd you just say?
Joel, there's no context that can make that better.
I don't think the real context can make that better.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's no way. No amount of room for improvement can save that one.
Joel, what's your shining ray of light?
The game Retry on iPhone. It's kind of like a Flappy Bird, but it's really good. It's like a little plane game, and look at that bright screen. It's you're not gonna be able to see anything. Yeah, it's just really fun. It's just like a little tappity tap game, but I was like, what's this? And then it's really, really fun, and I played many hours of it, surprisingly. But also, I played the SteamWorld Dig too, and I was like, what is this? I usually download it, because I usually download the free games, because I know James is going to text me like the next day, did you download those 2 games? I'm like, I'm probably not going to play them, but I'll download them just so you know I downloaded it. But, yeah, I played for like an hour and a half. Like, I was like, whoa, I just played this game for an hour and a half. It's really good.
Wow.
It's really fun.
Reese has an amazing suggestion in chat. He said, you need to call your code for games. You need to call it Looty Call.
Oh, yeah, Looty Call.
Looty Call.
Hey, Dave, I'm calling you for a Looty Call.
Okay, guys, from now on, whenever I send out an email for us to get together and play DayZ, the subject line is going to say Looty Call.
Looty Call.
Every time from now on. Thank
Please
you.
make sure to only send it out at like 3 in the morning.
Looty Call. Everyone comes running.
And my shining ray of light is, okay, there's been a lot of broken games released this year. A lot of broken games have been released in the past 2 weeks. The window, which qualifies, what we're talking about. But we've gotten a lot of them for free with our graphics card codes. Whee!
Free for only $350.
But here's what I can take comfort in. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5 right now. I was just able to rent Call of Duty Advanced Warfare for $2 from Redbox. I was able to play that game. That was a pretty awesome campaign. I'm playing Grand Theft Auto 5 right now. By the time I get around to Far Cry 4, they'll have patched probably most of the issues. By the time I get around to finishing Assassin's Creed Unity, they'll have patched most of the issues. There are so many awesome games coming out right now. It doesn't even matter. Like, as the longer I wait to get around to them, the better they'll run. Like, the more things will be improved. There's always launch day issues, and it sucks for modern games, but they're doing so much and they're on such tight deadlines. I understand why it happens. I don't like it. But I know that most of them don't want to be launching broken games. The people actually developing the games. The publishers might not care, but the developers don't want to release broken games. And, Battlefield 4 is definitely an anomaly. Like, a game being broken for a year is pretty rare. That doesn't normally happen. Normally, games have issues. Developers fix them pretty quickly, and you move on. So, yeah, to me, that's a shining ray of
like
light.
Nether. They just moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that made me sad.
Passed on.
That made me really sad.
To a better place. They passed on to a better place.
Yeah, thank you for your letter, Traven. He had a little more in there. He had a question about Assassin's Creed Unity that I did not understand, so I skipped it. And then he had a question, what's the first thing you do as a fresh character in DayZ if you're playing alone? And I would say my first thing is I go look for food and a weapon immediately because you're starving, you're thirsty, and other people can kill you. So after that, then you can start looking for other things. Anyone else have anything to add to that?
Don't do if I'm already geared up, then just look for somewhere to find better loot carefully.
I was going to add too, don't pull a Yoshi and in your excitement to join up with the group, sprint across 2/3 of the map and then die of starvation like on the road in front of your group.
Well, that sounds like Debbie dying or experiencing an opportunity to go to DayZ heaven with food in your backpack.
No, Jeremiah, she experienced the opportunity to create a new character. It's a very exciting time, like fresh slate, new loot. Very exciting.
I'm dropping the Unity question in chat so Pierogi can decode it for us.
I'm feeling like next week, I'm really want to play Dragon Age. I feel like I want to do that for Thanksgiving weekend. But I have GTA 5 and Far Cry 4 with Dave. And
you still have the first two that you haven't finished.
I don't know if
you
I'll
can't
ever
delayed gratification.
Well, it's hard getting into those games now, and the next one looks incredible. And the story's not amazing in the games. They're just kind of. They have dialogue trees.
Dragon Age.
James.
Oh, Dragon Age.
They have dialogue trees, James. That's all you need.
Did you guys hear what BioWare did for the people who hadn't played the first two, like me? This is so cool.
No.
They created a website. It's like a choose your own adventure book for both of the first two games. I heard it takes about 15 minutes to go through. You actually do all the main quest decisions on the website, and at the end, it creates a save game file that you download and import into the third game. So like
they did that with Mass Effect as well, I believe.
You learn the world, the characters, you make the choices, and then you end up with an actual downloadable save game. I think that's a ridiculously awesome idea. Like, they pulled it off. That's awesome.
They did that for Mass Effect 2 that got released on the PS3 because it didn't have the PS1 or the Mass Effect 1 on it, so they like allows you to do a couple like little mini story mode and then choose kind of almost like the Walking Dead game. Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
All right, our next bit of mail is from Kanan. He says, "Hello everyone, it's me, Kanan. I'd like to thank you for the quality content you bring. Keep up the good work." Thanks, Kanan. I want to touch on a point that Joel brought up in the last podcast. Now, Joel, friend of mine, good close friend of mine, we're not going to argue about anything that's about to be said in this email. We're just going to read it as mail, and we're going to move on, okay?
Okay.
And Dave, you're going to referee. All right.
Wait, I wasn't even part of it, so let me referee.
Okay, all right.
I wasn't at the podcast.
Joel continues, this is all Kanan's words. Joel continues to say that the cheap box 4 won't last as long as a PS4. It's called the cheap ass 4. The thing is, PS4 will last only because it's a console. The devs just have to cope with the shitty hardware for the next couple of years. It's not lasting because it has adequate performance. And since it's running an APU and games are developed for it, PS4 will always have an advantage compared to the cheap ass 4. The consoles are going to be the same and keep the gaming back, and we'll be getting shitty ports. But on the other hand, since we have so much piracy, we need consoles. It's a loop of nonsense. So the conclusion is to be happy and play on whatever you want. I'm joining the 970 club very soon as well. Such a nice GPU. As always, stay casual, slap a seal. Thanks, Kanan.
Stay casual while slapping a seal. I like that.
I just got like a guy with a top hat, like.
All right,
do that slap again.
Our last bit of mail is from One Call System. He says, "Hey, Casual Shenanigans crew, One Call System here. I just got into the Servarium beta over the weekend and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I was wondering if you guys were going to try the game out at any point. I know Dave is a Stalker fan of the group, and I've been watching his Stalker mod playthrough as anything Stalker related I watch. At the moment, the beta is pretty bare bones. It has 5 or 6 maps and is basically COD Team Deathmatch, but with the feature on collecting batteries and bringing them back to your base to power up a contraption which protects you from the storms, and the storms are in-game yet. So I don't know if that means they're not in-game yet or they are in-game yet. They're planning to roll out a complete world with monsters galore, DayZ style, when it releases. I'm super pumped about getting into this world and would highly suggest you guys try the game or at least keep an eye on it. I guess I sound like a Vostok Games shill right now. I guess those are the developers of it. I don't know much about Servarium. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, Dave, I guess, knows all about it.
I've been in the alpha.
Wait, nobody shills on our podcast. Let's be honest.
We
They don't
wouldn't a
seek us
second.
out to shill.
We would in a second, but we don't. We don't have the opportunity.
Please, I want to sell out so bad.
So yeah, Servarium. I've been watching it for a few years. It was announced like almost the same month as DayZ standalone, I think. And as a huge fan of Stalker, I've been keeping a close eye on it. I've been in the alpha since like March. I haven't even played it yet for two reasons. First off, the current game mode is just deathmatch. I mean, it's neat. The maps look beautiful. The engine is beautiful, but it's just deathmatch. And additionally, the only test servers are Russian and only go up a few times for testing. I haven't found that like sweet spot yet. And my ping to the servers is like 380, which for deathmatch is going to be pretty horrific. But I'm excited about the final product for sure. They seem to be actually taking their time with it, and they have a bunch of the environment artists from the Stalker series working on it. And if you look at the screenshots, it's like it's what everyone was hoping Stalker 3 was going to look like. It looks incredible. James, have you seen the Servarium screenshots before?
No, I haven't.
I'm going to hook you up later, man. It's like Stalker but modern. Hook you up. Yeah, I should try it at some point. I'm sure I will, but we're aware of it.
All right, and so to be a part of the show, you can write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com or tweet at casualshenaniga. You can also rate us on iTunes. We just noticed the other day we have 17 5-star ratings on iTunes. Thank you guys very much. That's really awesome.
Got that iTunes swag.
The podcast is steadily growing. We have a lot of cool guests lined up for you guys in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure you guys are really going to enjoy. But as we wrap down the podcast, it is now time for 90 Seconds with Joel. Is there a 90 Seconds with Joel this week? I'm sorry. I probably could have checked.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, well, kind of.
This is the part of the podcast where Joel talks about whatever he wants for an indeterminate amount of time. Ooh, but this week I can't argue with him. Joel, I'm so happy. Talk about whatever you want, buddy. I'm here for you. Let's do this together.
This one I think you guys are gonna like. Just last week, I completely remember. I was like, wait a second. I wonder if my mom still has this. So I called her.
She still got it.
Mm-hmm. No, I called her yesterday, and I was like, hey mom, do you happen to still have any of those boxes with some of the, our school supplies back from our homeschool days and everything? I used to write tons of choose your own adventure books, like full choose your own adventure books. Those are one of my favorite books. They were like video game books.
This is how Joel escaped from his childhood to be like, do you want to run away and never come back? Or you can flip to page 500 to end it all right now.
But those remind me of the movie Big.
Yeah.
I like have this. Yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, so I called her and she's like, yeah. She's like, I still have the box. She said she saved like every little popsicle stick, everything I made back then. She's got everything. So I'm going to go, I didn't get a chance to go back there today, but I'm going to probably head over there tomorrow and pick up some of them. I probably have about 10 of them if I have all of them. But the one is about like a crazy circus and a crazy clown that's like on a murderous rampage. And some other just interesting one. I have one about like some guy going up some snowy mountain and find some mystery thing.
I'm guessing you didn't share these with your mom.
I don't think she ever read them actually. But my brother used to do it as well. He had some as well. But I thought it would be really fun if you guys allow it on a podcast. I'll find one that's a little bit shorter, but I thought it'd be really funny. I'll read it and you guys choose what happens to see how long you guys can survive. But because I don't know, I just thought it'd be really fun. But I'm thinking about actually taking photos of each page and putting it into a PDF to just save it, because I'm like, okay, it's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, scan it in.
My writing's about the same as it is.
Future generations deserve.
I know this.
Joe, we can release them as Patreon perks.
James, his writing has room for improvement.
Yes, it does. It's called me.
Ooh.
The truth. It's the truth.
All right.
I'm happy to say that. What?
I'm happy to talk about things I'm better
I'm happy
at
to
than
be
you.
working on the film.
Well, thank you, Joel. I look forward to hearing that, and I'm sure all the listeners will suffer through it happily. It is now time for the comment of the week, or in this case, the tweet of the week. Dave, what do you have for us this week?
So, I didn't have any super hilarious comments this week. I had some that I rolled my eyes at, but this actually caught my eye tonight. Two streamers I know, Fred and Emily, over from London.
Oshi7.
And his wife, actually, they're married now. They both stream together. They play a lot of DayZ and ARMA. But it was the timing of this series of tweets that ended up in my timeline just a few hours ago. It was like the spacing in between the progression that I just lost it laughing. So I'm just gonna read Emily and Fred's tweets of the incident that happened after their stream tonight. So our first tweet is Emily. So, I leave the room to talk to Ben and come back to find Fred trying to order ice cream and whiskey to eat in bed. 5 minutes later, Emily. This is the least screwed up decision I've ever been a part of. 5 minutes later, Fred. I did a bad thing. That sounds like a great night, actually. Ice cream and whiskey after a stream.
I'm lactose intolerant. That would be a really terrible night.
I'm so drunk, but I can't control it.
Oh, man.
Whiskey farts.
Ice cream.
All right. Does anyone have anything else to chip in before we wrap the podcast down in record time this week?
Should we mention that? Why
don't we all say one thing we really like about each other? Oh, sorry. What's up, Joel?
We can do that. I was gonna say, now that we're playing GTA 5 on the PS4, if anyone else has a PS4, I know they hate me because I play on a console, but if you have a PS4 and you'd like to play with us, we might be able to hook you up
we'll join our crew. JERMgaming
crew.
and Joel, what's your?
I think mine's just Jam Gelzo.
Okay. Add me and we'll go through that. Joel's making me an admin on the crew thing, so add me on PSN JERMgaming and we'll add you to our GTA crew. I will also be streaming some GTA this evening, probably starting around 10, maybe a little bit after 10, so be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And then tomorrow, if you guys have the ARMA 3 mod, sorry Dave, you can join the stream. If you guys have ARMA 3 and you have the CSG mod pack, come play an ARMA 3 mission with us. We're inviting any of you guys who own it and who have played with us before, or maybe you're a new player. And Reese, we've decided what we're going to do is Dave or I are going to need to use like a logme or join.me session, remote into your computer and install your freaking mods for you.
And remove all your malware, apparently.
Buddy, pal. Because we want you to play with us. But yeah, play ARMA 3 with us. We're not sure which mission we're going to do yet. Dave, it has occurred to me playing GTA tonight is going to negatively affect my ability to finish that mission. So we might retool another one for tomorrow. Like we've got...
Race at Dawn is like basically ready to go again.
Yeah, let's just play that again.
It's optimized.
Yeah, let's just play that again.
And I also have the updated version of Traffic Stop with more HVTs for more fun.
Yeah, so we're going to play a new mission of some kind tomorrow. So that's going to be at 8 p.m. Friday. If you're listening to the audio version of this, I will try to get it up so you have enough time to listen to it and make an informed decision. Otherwise, it's just for everyone in the stream. If you need any more information, email us casualshenanigans@gmail.com. I will email you back with information about mod packs and stuff if you don't have it yet, or tweet at casualshenaniga. But it is up to you to get everything installed and working. We're not going to be starting at 8 and then actually starting at 9:30. At 8 o'clock, we are crewing up. If you need help getting stuff working, tweet at us, email us, and we'll try to get something going ahead of time. But you need ARMA 3, you need the mod pack, and you need to install the Evolve gaming client and add JERMgaming on the Evolve gaming client so we can have a virtual LAN. Although Dave, you and I should test and see if the multiplayer LAN.
We should test it. It's been like 5 months. We should test and see if the game itself is working.
We probably should. But yeah, so thank you everyone for coming out. Anyone have anything else to add before we go? Or are we ready to wrap this down? Wrap it up. Tie it down.
Jeremiah is such a good podcast host.
He is a good podcast host.
Aw, guys, that's so nice.
All right.
So Dave didn't care. He didn't add in.
You guys said it all. I mean, you put it all out there.
You agreed with us.
I agree with you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out. We will be taking the week off next week. Go be thankful about something if you're American. If you're in the rest of the world, go be hopeful that you can be American one day.
And guys,
be thankful that we exist.
Don't forget to join us, guys, after the Happy Cast, after Thanksgiving's over. Join us in the Christmas season for the Angry Cast.
Hey, all I'm going to do is tease this, guys. Loot Cast 2014 is coming. Just get hyped. And this could be a new segment on the podcast, America Fact of the Week. America Fact of the Week I learned this past week. Guess how tall the new One World Trade Center tower is?
1,776 feet.
1,776 feet tall. If you're curious what's the significance of that, that's the year we signed the Declaration of Independence and said, screw you, England, we're going to be our own country.
So, could we say that the Freedom Tower is now a giant middle finger pointed across the ocean at Great Britain?
to our brothers.
To our brothers in Great Britain. A friendly middle finger.
A hangover
Are you
cast.
guys not at all weirded out by the name? The One World Tower?
Oh, all right, Mr. Illuminati.
That's not what it's called, is it?
I can't.
No, that's
it's
not
the
what it's-
One World Trade Center.
One World Trade Center.
No, it's called like Freedom Tower 1.
No, that's what it was called back in the day.
Everyone's searching now.
I think it's called the One World Trade Center.
Searching
Yeah, it's called the One
identifies.
World Trade Center.
Oh, okay, that is a little weird.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't just call it the World Trade Center again. They had to come up with like a slightly different name. I don't know. It makes sense. There's a bunch of buildings though that are the World Trade Center. It's not like one building.
Yeah, it's a
You know,
complex.
Apocalypse is near.
Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for coming out. You can tweet at casualshenanigans, at JERMgaming, at Evil Viking to be a part of the show. You can write into casualshenanigans@gmail.com. Check us out on Patreon. Support us. Cool things are coming. We have almost finalized plans for the Cheap Ass 4. We'll be telling you more about that very, very soon.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to revolutionize arguments on this podcast. And we appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you, and we appreciate that you enjoy what we're doing. And with that, everybody,
We appreciate you.
Stay happy.
stay happy.
Stay happy.